$19.99 Honda Civic LX. All right, first things first, we're gonna remove. Let's get this out the way. It should just slide right out. Fits in there nicely like a glove. Set this to the side. Let's remove the upper radiator hose. Get this hose off. Line off. All right. These are nice. Hose off right there. It's not leaking because my radiator's punctured. Leaked all out the night prior. Set that to the side. Now we're gonna get the lower off. There you go. Now we're gonna get the lower radiator off. And the lower radiator hose off. I use a hose clamp for this. I don't really like using the ones where you pinch. I like to have this one German specs. Does that make sense?
Guten Tag.
Hey, I took the whole thing off. Maybe to. Oh, son of a bitch! Oh, there wasn't much anyways. It stopped already. I'll be fine. You get some dry spill. Yeah, so just make sure you got all the coolant out of your radiator before you make a mistake like I did. I thought I drained it all out yesterday, but I guess sitting overnight, it just kind of built up. But it's okay. Mess is clean. So now what we're going to want to do is to see these two transmission cooling lines right here. Let me show you how to go about taking those off and plugging them properly. Came with a new radiator on here, so it's perfect for plugging that line so you don't leak any transmission fluid. But, I mean, you're gonna leak a little bit, but it'll be all right. Once you get this line off, you want to use a spark plug. What we're gonna do is we're gonna plug this this line right here to keep it from leaking transmission fluid. So I'll let you do that.
Yeah, this is gonna be hard. Might lose a little bit of fluid, but
That's fine. And then this cap came with a new radiator. Yep. Put this cap along the.
Yep. Like that.
Yep.
First one's done.
So what we did is we took the line off, plugged it with the spark plug, and then these little red caps right here came with a new radiator.
Cool.
There you go.
Mechanic.
And it's just a little bit of transmission fluid. You'll be fine, but it's not. I mean, it doesn't hurt to check it after you're done. So that's also what we're going to be doing. So since we got those two off now, we're moving on to taking this off, which I hate plastic clips. There you go. The only thing holding this radiator in place is this 10 mil bolt right here, but there you go. Set this aside, don't lose it. And then your radiator should just come right out. Voila. Well, yep, and she's out.
Bam.
Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically transfer everything over from this to this beautiful new one. We're taking off the fan right now. Couple 10 mil bolts.
Yeah, you can tell that it's been leaking because these are rusty.
Yeah. So a lot of people, when they tighten these, some people use thread tape. You don't have to. Just make sure it's good and tight, German specs, good and tight. And then make sure it's pointing in the same direction as it was when you originally took it off. Just like that. So these are already tightened and had them pointing upwards. We're good to go. German specs. Now I'm gonna install the fan. And a lot of the times, some of these newer radiators, they don't come with the radiator cap. Can you grab that one off of there for me real quick? So keep that in mind. Don't throw it away just yet. There we go. And we're going to be using the grommets that were on the old radiator compared to the new ones, because this is what the new ones look like in reference. They're not the same, so we're just going to reuse the old ones. Too easy. So you want to hit it off? Nah. I mean, it still looks dirty. You know what? Compared to that one. You know what? It's the same. You know what? Now we're going to go on the install. So those two little grommet things slide right into there. Too easy. So just slide right in like magic. Like a butter. Let's do it. That side's in. That side's in. There you go. Too easy. Now what we're gonna do is that little, just to hold it in place. Catch that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Let's do it. Let's do it. Save you a few $100 doing it yourself.
Save 15% or more by doing it by fucking self.
Watch your profanity. Oh. Alright, next thing we're gonna get into, yep, connect that. I hate sensors and plastic plugs and all that shit. Next thing we do is to connect those transmission cooling lines. And like I said, if you leak a little bit of trans fluid, that's fine. Because we're also gonna check it after this.
There you go. I'm just gonna get the clamps on.
Now we're getting the clamps on. Damn, this guy is literally a genius, dude.
I did work as a mechanic for a little bit.
Oh, fuck. Come on, man.
Hey, at least it touched the ground. That's all you really look for whenever something falls in the engine bay. You want to hear it hit the ground.
There you go, yeah. Good job.
And the hoses.
Yep. Now you're going to go into connecting your upper radiator hose. Good job. And then you go about getting that lower radiator hose on. Make sure you got it good and tight. Not too tight, but tight enough. Now that we got everything together, upper, lower radiator hose, transmission cooling lines, we got the fan plugged in. It's mounted properly down here. I mean, secured and then bolted. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put the reservoir back in. It just sits nicely right there. Yeah, it literally just sat in there. Look at that. Boom. We're gonna do we're gonna fill it up with coolant and we're gonna burp the system. We're gonna be using, you don't have to, we're just bougie, not really. but we're using Peak for Honda 1990 and up.
So as you can see here from the 1999 owner's manual of this Civic, right here it says with a 5-speed manual transmission and an automatic. This has an automatic. It says it takes 0.79 US gallons.
DX, LX.
If it's these models, and if it's the US model EX, then it's 0.85 for the automatic.
But what we do is we fill it up, burp the system. Once it's filled, no more burping, I say it's good to go. You don't have to use this, but this is what we're going to use to burp the system. It's a lifesaver. It's nice. It's easy. You can just do it without it. Turn it on, fill as necessary. Watch for the bubbles. As you do this, also check underneath for any leaks. So when you're burping the system, you're going to want to turn your heat on full blast. Do you know why? Do you know why you got to turn the heat on full blast?
It just expedites the process of burping the system. It helps get the bubbles out a lot faster.
Okay. Doing its thing. There's bubbles coming out. Don't see any leaks.
What's the getting dog doing?
What you want to do is you want to get it to operating temp, which we're dang near almost there. You can have a buddy or yourself rev it up, and you can tell that it kind of speeds up the process. This is so much nicer than just doing it from here and letting it get all over the place. So what you want to do is you want to get it to operating temp. You can have a buddy rev it. It helps speed up the process. Right?
What's up?
Right, revving it helps speed up the process.
Yeah, so what it'll do is it'll push the bubbles out a lot more, which will expedite the process, make it go by a lot quicker, which is what I did. Now, it being at operating temperature, we're looking to see if there's any more bubbles, which there currently hasn't been any bubbles come out in about a minute or so.
Yeah, so you say you're good when you don't see bubbles for a couple minutes.
Yeah, like when you don't see bubbles, you might get a periodic 1 or 2 here and there, but that's to be expected. But when you don't have an excessive amount of bubbling, that means that you got all, if not most of the air out.
I think we're good. Now that we're good, what we're going to do is put the rest of this into the overflow tank. Don't forget to fill that up.
Try to keep it as clean as possible. I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. Damn! How much?
Yeah, I shoved it in there, I'm sorry. I'll let you know. Keep it coming. Keep going. Nothing like an old Honda though.
Facts. With somewhat low mileage. And then what you can do, if you want, so when you put the cap in, it doesn't overfill. Just let this soak that up. That.
In case you were worried about it, when you took off the transmission cooling lines, Over here in the manual it says check the fluid level with the engine at normal operating temperature, which ours is. You're going to park on a level ground, shut the engine off, and right now we're going to remove the dipstick. It's the yellow one, and we're going to wipe it clean.
Down here. Wipe it clean the first time.
Yep.
Get an accurate reading.
So now he's wiping it clean. And we're going to insert the dipstick into the transmission as shown in the illustration. Now he's removing it. And now we're going to make sure that the fluid level is between the upper and lower marks.
And you can see it's roughly right about there, tip of my nail. If I turn that over, it's about where that fill line is, which is where it's at.
Good to go. And that about wraps it up in case you're worried about the transmission level. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, don't ask me. I'm just kidding. You ask me in the comments. Thanks for watching.